Thank you very much, Dr. Eyal.
شكرا جزيلا دكتور
I will say my remarks in Arabic.
سأتكلم باللغة
بسم الله
العربية.
الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah.
يسر مركز البحرين للدراسات الاستراتيجية والدولية والطاقة وبالتعاون مع المعهد الملكي للدراسات الأمنية والدفاعية إقامة هذه الندوة الحوارية التي تعتبر بداية لتعاون نرجو أن يستمر بيننا، خاصة وأن هذا المعهد الملكي يعتبر من أعرق مراكز الفكر، إذ إنه تأسس في بريطانيا عام 1831 من قبل دوق ويلينغتون. إن الهدف الأساسي لندوتنا الحوارية والتي هي بعنوان العوامل الخارجية المؤثرة في العلاقات البريطانية البحرينية، آفاق التعاون عبر الأقاليم، وفتح آفاق المناقشة الجادة والتحليل الدقيق لقضايا تتعلق بالعلاقات البحرينية البريطانية، خاصة في مجالي الأمن والدفاع، والتعمق في دراسة أسباب المتغيرات الاستراتيجية التي قد تؤدي تفاعلاتها المعقدة إلى تغيير جزء لا يستهان به من خارطة العالم العربي، بالإضافة إلى الدور المتنامي لأقاليم أخرى مثل الشرق الأقصى وجنوب شرق آسيا في قضايا التجارة والاقتصاد وأمن الخليج العربي. لقد قامت العلاقات الثنائية بين بريطانيا والبحرين ضمن إطار العلاقات التاريخية بين المملكة المتحدة ومجلس التعاون لدول الخليج العربية، والتي تعود في جذورها إلى بدايات القرن التاسع عشر، حيث أبرمت بريطانيا معاهدة تاريخية مع حكام المنطقة عام 1820 لتحقيق مفهوم السلم البحري وتنظيم حركة الملاحة والتجارة، وفتحت تلك المعاهدة المجال لبريطانيا أن تصبح قوة مؤثرة في القضايا المتعلقة بأمن الخليج العربي لفترة طويلة. ومنذ أواخر القرن التاسع عشر تبوأت البحرين موقع الصدارة في النشاط الملاحي باعتبارها أحد أهم محطات التبادل التجاري في المنطقة، كما دعمت المملكة المتحدة حركة الإصلاح والتحديث
initiated by Sheikh Isa bin Ali Al Khalifa, ruler of Bahrain at that time, with the support of elite Bahraini people and some visions, and the visions of the British officials were not in harmony as regards of types of modernization, especially in cases which touch the Bahrain sovereignty. If we look carefully in the historic circumstances in the early 20th century, we will notice that there were regional and international changes which created a positive and enabling environment for reform and modernization, and it marked a turning point in the history of modern Bahrain. The country has thereafter witnessed progressive modernization and reform, which came as a result of the accumulation of experiences of the ruling institutions in the fields of political, economic and social progress and development. And we can say that the reform process reached its peak in the age of His Majesty King Muhammad bin Isa Khalifa, who realized the importance of reform and change in the history of Bahrain. Since the end of the 19th century, His Majesty launched his reform project, which is based on deepening and strengthening the democratic country and to boost the democratic institutions to be in turn a constant cornerstone for the modern Bahrain in the 21st century, with the importance of gradual reform and estimation the speed of this reform, and to consider the political developments in the GCC countries.
وفي غضون المسيرة الإصلاحية الجديدة بالبحرين
تميزت العلاقات بين وبين بريطانيا were agreeing on a general strategy in cooperation in the field of Bahrain security, the regional security in the Gulf region. Sometimes there are some differences in some issues, but it's no surprised that this difference may exist. The transitional periods in the nations come as a result of deep changes that may change the situations and circumstances and will impact the relations between countries. To have various opinions and to act wisely politically in order to deal with these changes that can be considered soft. It is sometimes very fierce. Mark Sykes, he is true, who was the most important officials in the British officials, who was very well known of the British affairs, and his name also was related to the very well known Sykes-Picot agreement, when he said at the beginning of before the First World War, he said that the collapse of the Ottoman Empire will be the first step for
the disappearance of the Ottoman Empire.
He will repeat it in English. He repeated again in English.
This is what Mark Sykes said in the House of Commons in early 1914. ولم تكن مقولة
Mark Sykes is not an idea that emerged from a political concern of the British, but it was out of conviction that is remaining of a wide range of elite politicians in Britain in generations, and among those George Canning and Duke Wellington and Lord Palmerston and Benjamin Disraeli and other politicians who believed that the preservations of the territorial integrity of the Ottoman Empire was crucial for Britain and Europe as a geopolitical security buffer. Yet the significant developments at the outbreak of the First World War forced Britain to change its policy of maintaining the integrity of the Ottoman territories over the past 100 years within less than 100 days. Taking such a historical perspective into consideration, politicians in Bahrain and the Arabian Gulf are concerned that political pressures emanating may overshadow the recent developments in the region or the radical reactions caused by short-sightedness may negatively affect historical ties and common interests. And this has become necessary to arrange meetings between politicians. And we can say that these concerns are growing in the region, and now it's very important to have discussions and dialogues of politicians, diplomats, to discuss concerns in light of the general transformation in the region in a time where changes are very deep. The relations between Bahrain and the United Kingdom have been established on the basis of general cooperation in curbing common threats in the Arabian Gulf. The current escalation of political and economic events in the world suggests a need for strengthening dialogue and to consolidate coordination and cooperation between think tanks and research institutions to study the regional and international developments and to know the reasons for such changes and to exchange views outside the official circles and to support the decision-making process. The new perspectives for the future must be based on understanding the nature of changes that have occurred since the conclusion of the cooperation and friendship agreement between Bahrain and Britain in 1971. Bahrain and the other GCC countries achieved tremendous achievements in cooperation and coordination since the establishment of the Arab Gulf Cooperation Council in 1981, and based on the success in developing to achieve full cooperation in all fields and to prepare the national cadres in political, economic and social fields. This will measure steps are heading towards the formation of a union between these countries. This is evident in the successful utilization of human potential in the management of capital and the ability of these states to address threats to regional security during the past 4 decades. The GCC states have consolidated their cooperation and have become regionally well established. Thus, the bilateral relations between Bahrain and Britain must be viewed within its regional context, through which Bahrain forms an integral part of the GCC that produces more than 30% of the world's oil needs and 14% of world gas production and consumption. Recent studies in the field of energy expects world demand for oil to double, some 50% by 2030. Moreover, the World Bank statistics for 2012 show that the economic structure of the GCC countries were least affected by the financial crisis among main regional economics of the world. Oil revenues enabled these countries to overcome this crisis without major losses, as experienced by the European and Asian markets. Despite the world's financial crisis, economic growth in the GCC countries rose from 4.2% in 2010 to 5% in 2011. The World Bank classified the region as the least affected in economic risk. It also scored third in terms of geopolitical trade level worldwide. The region still contains about 55% of the world oil reserves and 40% of natural gas. Ladies and gentlemen, in terms of trade with Britain, the GCC is the 7th largest importer of British goods. About 50 billion pounds. This figure exceeded the United Kingdom's exports to India and China together. Bahrain's total trade value with the United Kingdom reached some $337 million in 2010. Due to the very strong historical relations between Britain and the GCC countries and the secure investment climate in the region, encouraged some 160,000 British nationals residing and working in the GCC countries. The GCC investments in the United Kingdom are valued at approximately $2.25 billion in real estate markets, banking and infrastructure projects. The GCC states have made great progress in the area of integration of security and military cooperation through incorporating the concept of joint Gulf defense. This idea was embodied in the Manama Summit in 2000, which endorsed a joint defense treaty committing the GCC countries to defend any member states against a threat or danger. In light of this agreement, military cooperation made major steps based on a clear foundation and that took into account existing potentials and defense requirements and the size and resources of this threat. In their last meeting, the GCC states agreed upon establishing a regional joint military maritime center with multiple responsibilities regarding the security of the sea and the marine environment, to secure free navigation and traffic rescue ships and dealing with disasters and matters related to Gulf security. We at the Bahrain Center for Strategic International and Energy Studies hope, through taking this first step in cultural and intellectual cooperation with the Royal United Services Institute, we hope to organize more events and invite prominent speakers from the Arabian Gulf area who received their education in the world's outstanding universities and have become remarkable, and they have remarkable contributions in strategic studies and international politics. This new elite of intellectuals from the GCC states are different from the previous generation at the cultural and educational levels with whom Britain dealt with during the early stages of the formation in terms of their desire to achieve new perspectives for cooperation and coordination to encounter recent common threats that may arise in the foreseeable future. After an era of imperial superiority, Europe now deals with a more pluralistic, competitive world in which regional entities in East Asia and Southeast Asia compete in trade and play a significant economic role. The size of trade exchange between China and the GCC states last year was $93 billion and approximately $106 billion with India and more than $172 billion with Japan. Undoubtedly, the ever-growing trade movement will pave the way for more political and economic cooperation between the main powers in Asia, such as India, China, and Russia, and as well as Japan and the Arabian Gulf states in the future. These powers may aspire to exercise a more effective and influential political role in the affairs of the region and to secure a role with regard to security and defense issues. Despite the growing role of these regional powers, it must be admitted that they still face substantial hurdles in the development of their relations with the Arab Gulf bloc, because they have not been able to secure a cultural presence and therefore need to strengthen relations with the peoples of the region rather than simply promote trade and trade exchange. Japan, for example, is a clear-cut case for the sophisticated model of industrial production and trade exchange, yet it did not make similar and strong efforts to consolidate its cultural and scientific presence, which is an integral factor to its strategic presence. The same principle applies, but with different proportions to China, India, and Russia. In contrast, the current foreign policies of the GCC states have shown an active interest in trying to heal previous shortcomings in cultural communication with these states that represent impressive and ancient civilizations with a long history of communication with the peoples of the region in various decades. Yet, despite the increased competition and the acceleration of the course of political events, the British role continues to play a significant role in the security of the Arabian Gulf. This is due to the historical ties and the joint interests, mutual confidence between the United Kingdom and the GCC states, mainly in geostrategic issues, which all the GCC are in understanding with the UK. Recent events in the region demonstrated the need to deepen this important role through dialogue and joint studies to come up with new visions in the face of threats to our stability and common security. سيداتي وسادتي، أريد أن أشكر السيد روسي الذي قد عمل معنا بشكل وثيق منذ العام الماضي لتنظيم هذا المؤتمر. وأيضا أريد أن أشكر جميع المدعوين وشكرا لحضوركم، وأني في غاية الامتنان لحضوركم، ولا أنسى فريق المركز الذي قد عملوا بهذا في منتهى الجد خلال الشهر السابق. شكرا جزيلا.